The easy way out for the United States would be let Iran control the Strait.
Okay, happy Monday the 13th, you guys. The one number there. Oh, yep, got everything all done. Not much going on planned for this week. Another day. So we got a big lineup. So hope everybody reads my headline today. We got Mel against Boz with Holly. She must have did it last night. It was late last night. They did it. But it's 40 minutes, so it's under an hour. So we got YouTube one has a good one today that we'll play. I got Kennedy videos that are starting to come out now. A lot of new stuff coming out. We got all the short clips from TikTok, a bunch of them. Let's see how many we get in chat. So, did you guys hear the breaking news on Swart? Spreewell? Call him Spreewell. I guess he's stepping down. And he's still saying all those things are false. Well, if you're stepping down, something must be wrong. Yeah. Yep. You're the first one in. We'll play her in a little bit after we do a lot of short ones to get everybody in after the first hour. Still no Billy Bean yet. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know a lot of people are working, so we'll go ahead and get started. YouTube entertainment opinions only. Okay, I'm gonna play a 10-minute one. Trump just spoke just a few minutes ago.
Into our country, but we've gotten a lot of them out. We've done a great job on crime. So we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years since 1900, the lowest murder rate. So we believe strongly in law and order, and he seemed to have a problem with that. So there's nothing to apologize for. He's wrong. And the other thing is he didn't like what we're doing with respect to Iran, but Iran is wants to be a nuclear nation so they can exterminate the world. Not going to happen.
And Mr. President, on Iran, if the deal is not reached by the end of the ceasefire, does your threat from before still stand?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that, but it won't be pleasant for them. Let me put it that
Do
way.
you still plan to charge a toll to use restraining order? Has your timetable changed in any way in terms of ending this conflict?
No, it's going on. Just right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out if they were doing business with Iran, but if they weren't, no boats came out. So now Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. Don't forget, their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone. It's a lot.
Do you still want to charge a toll?
Reports coming from predominantly going to China, Mr. President. Has Xi Jinping reached out? I know you're going to be.
No, but we have a very good relationship with China. He would like to see this ended also. He certainly wants it ended. Everyone, I want to see it ended too. But we can't give a nuclear weapon to a group of people that have caused nothing but havoc for 47 years. Look, I'm the president that's done something about it. This should have been, and many other presidents regret that they didn't. You know, so I'm doing something about it.
Ukraine impeachment documents that were just declassified show that Eric Charamella not only submitted false information, but that he had no direct knowledge of the alleged conversations. All hearsay. Do you feel vindicated by those?
Yeah, I do. They're a bunch of crooked people. You're talking about with respect to all of the things that they put against me? Yeah. Well, it's come out that in so many different ways. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it. But in so many different ways, the election was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. We found that out. What you just said is just a piece of that. It's a big piece, but minor, relatively speaking, compared to what they did. They cheated in the election. They cheated on the vote. They cheated in every way possible. And it's the only way we got an incompetent man to be a president. And he was an incompetent man. Many of the things that we're talking about, even including this would have been settled a long time ago, not now. And it should have been settled by other presidents. But the election was a rigged election. We can't let that happen to our country.
It's concealment of exculpatory information. What should happen?
Well, it's a very serious charge against them and the Democrats. They cheat. They can't get elected with their policy. So their policy is no good. They want to have, open borders. They want to have men playing in women's sport. Do you think that men should play in women's sports?
I really don't have an opinion on that.
You don't, I'll bet you do.
No, I'm here about
Pizza.
no tax on tips.
Yeah. Okay.
Madam President, your name stands that you delivered to the White House before.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is it your your understanding that during this period of time, while the U.S. has instituted this naval blockade, that oil companies will be able to send their oil tankers through the strait, get more oil out from this area?
Yeah, I think they're going to be doing very well there, and I think they're doing very well here. You know, a lot of tankers are coming up here. They're coming in empty and out full. And we have a great capacity to take care of that business.
Ma'am, may we know your name, please? Have you delivered to the White House before?
I have not. My name is Sharon Simmons.
And are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Wait,
Potentially. Yes, very.
Mr. President, can I ask you something
that's
about
good.
Cuba?
Thank you. You reminded me.
Mr. President, one on Cuba, sir. You previously said that you had no problem with countries sending fuel to Cuba after previously promising to tariff them. What happened? What changed?
Well, we're going to see with Cuba. Cuba's another story. Cuba's been a terribly run country for a long time. It's got a bad system. It's been very oppressive, as you know. And we have a lot of great Cuban Americans, all of whom just about voted for me. And they were treated very badly. In many cases, family members have been killed. They've been beaten up and mugged, and like terrible things happen in Cuba. And Cuba's a failing nation. And we're going to do this. And we may stop by Cuba after we're finished with this. But Cuba is a nation that was has been horribly run for many years by Castro.
You said may stop by
Housing Regulator Bill Pulte, regarding those two recent referrals for Letitia James for insurance fraud. Do you know if federal prosecutors have evidence to charge?
Well, I don't know. I know she's a very corrupt person. And you're talking about the so-called Attorney General of New York. She's a very corrupt person. That's been proven now. And I know I have nothing to do with it, but they're looking at things all over the place, more than one state, concerning her and concerning people like Comey, who's a dirty cop. Comey's a dirty cop, and dirty cops are bad. Nobody likes the police more than me, law enforcement more than me, but Comey's a totally dirty cop, and we're not gonna stand for it. Yeah.
The UFC fight that's happening at the White House this summer. UFC typically numbers those fights consecutively, but should they label this one UFC 1776?
That's a good idea. I'll tell that to Dana White. I like that idea, actually. I will say I've been involved with a lot of big events. I've never had an event that's had more interest in the UFC fight that we have right at the front door. Right there, they're going to start building about a 4,500 seat arena. And then in the back, at the Ellipse, we're going to have maybe 100,000, 50 to 100,000 people, I guess. They're building tremendous stages, and you're going to have massive screens of the fight. And it's a very popular sport. But I have never been involved because of the White House and everything. There's a lot of reasons for it. But we're having a fight at the White House on June 14th.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
And we're going to have an arena built right at the front door. And if you want,
This is under
is your
10
husband
minutes,
up to coming? Do you think? Does he like UFC?
He might.
If he's feeling good, we'll make sure you come, okay?
That would be wonderful.
That's
Thank
better
you.
than the tip I just gave you. I'll tell you. That's a lot better. But no, if he's feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Is he doing okay? Is he going to be okay?
He's doing very well. He's doing very well. He actually, during the process, he wrote a book. And
Go ahead, give him the name. Maybe yourself.
he hasn't had it published yet, but it's a book on humility. And his name is Leo, and he's just
Good guy.
doing good. He's doing great.
How long are you married?
Okay.
We have been married for 6 years,
Oh, that's
but
good.
we've,
Okay.
like most people, we've been together for over 10. So
That's very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice to say hello to him. He's going to be good. Okay, he's going to get better, and he's going to be good.
yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I want to thank you all, and I especially want to thank you for being here.
Well, I want to thank you
Thank you very much.
for the no tax on tips.
So that's good.
It has helped my family out immensely, and I definitely appreciate it.
That's
Thank you.
so nice. The one thing that I just in leaving, we've had more good press for a change, having to do with the fact that people are receiving more money from their tax refunds than they ever thought possible. We had a man the other day got $5,000. Another one got $7,000. They weren't expecting anything like this, and it's because of the great big beautiful bill. And that's why you came, and I really appreciate it. And tell your husband to get better.
I will.
And if he's feeling good, you'll come up and you'll watch that fight.
All
Okay,
right.
June
I
14th.
appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care of yourself.
Thank you.
Any update on
Thank you.
DOJ though,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President?
Your reaction
You
to
went to
Mr.
the
Orban?
DOJ, any update on who you went to the DOJ, who you're gonna nominate?
Well, I think Todd, as far as doing a fantastic job, I will say that. He's a great lawyer. I know that because he's been with me a long time. And so far, he's doing a great job. But we have incredible people in the DOJ, getting better all the time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, that was just a little bit ago. So, yeah, I got everything all done. Okay, and another big, I wrote on my post, Mel and Holly, 38 minutes. And then the YouTube lady has a good one out today, too. So that will cheer you up. We'll get those in. I got a lot of shorts we're going to get now. These are, we'll do this one, 3 minutes, this one.
Not dirty money,
because I earned it. A heart.
but you earned it.
I
through-
earned it
you
legally.
We went back to this before. You earned
Yes.
it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So if instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
Do you think it's a legitimate question?
Yeah,
Yes,
well-
because I think about, I think you have, ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India, instead of asking me whether that money should be given to these children
Under 3
for
minutes.
vaccines, I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio, and ask them if Epstein should have helped these people.
If we
with their
walked in,
money.
if we walked
That's
in, you're
is
a
that a fair
mathematician.
question?
You're a mathematician. If we walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from a, what are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
The lowest?
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
If I think if you
See,
told them, if
100%,
I told them the devil
100%.
himself
Himself.
said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is
Was the
somebody
devil
knows
smart?
the devil's brilliant. You
Yeah.
read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay, we have to go.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay, anybody see that clip? So we got 2 new ones from the mask guy that came out today. One's a 10 and one's a 3. Three minutes.
Let's be clear. They aren't the
Today, it was out today.
They're the canaries in the coal mine. They warned us. They saw the cracks in the system before the rest of us did. Broken infrastructure, empty hydrants, reservoirs drained in the middle of fire season. None of this was a surprise to the actuaries. Their business is risk, and they're the most informed entities in this equation. The real question isn't why did they leave? The question is, why wasn't anyone listening? Because this isn't just about wildfires. It's about a government so mismanaged, so incompetent, that it let the basics, water, emergency response, safety, fall apart. Insurance companies didn't cause this crisis. They're responding to it. And instead of asking what drove them away, we're wasting time calling them villains. Here's the truth. The actuaries made their calculations, and they saw what no one wanted to admit. Our government isn't functioning. And if the people who study risk for a living decided it was too dangerous to stay, maybe we should stop blaming them and start asking, what would it take for them to return? Because until we fix what's broken, the canaries will keep flying away, and we'll keep paying the price.
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I
it
don't
doesn't-
believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the
Why is
call.
the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So
There's
let's
no
get
cell
it.
service.
Let's get it. Governor, please tell
California.
me what are you going to do?
You guys aren't
right
pissed
now?
off enough?
We're getting
If this
the
isn't
resources
enough,
to help do that. We're getting
look, you want to take your damn state back? You want California back? You want to reclaim California? You're going to have to vote different next time and tell them no to all these
What are you going to do?
good
To fill the
agendas.
hydrants. I would fill them up personally. You know that. I would fill up the hydrants myself. But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not.
You regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Yep, more lies, more lies. This one came out today, 10-minute one. I double checked.
Collective. Today's date is Monday, April 13th, 2026. For 12,000 years, the truth has been buried. Advanced civilizations once ruled this earth, mastering the stars, raising impossible monuments, and sailing forgotten seas. Then the sky burned. Comets fell. Biblical floods swallowed their golden empires. The survivors carried fragments of their knowledge, only for rulers and priests to scrub the rest from history and sacred texts. They rewrote the Bible. They erased the ancients. They needed you to believe you were primitive, never heirs to a far greater past. We are here to tear down the veil. The veiled ancients are rising again, deep in the veiled corridors of human memory. A radiant and forgotten splendor still whispers across the ages. Long before the first lines of recorded history were etched in clay, magnificent civilizations of breathtaking sophistication blazed across the earth. These enlightened societies commanded the stars, engineered colossal monuments with godlike precision, and charted vast oceans using maps that unveiled secrets modern eyes are only now beginning to rediscover. Their gleaming cities pulsed with knowledge far surpassing our own. Their minds harmonized with cosmic rhythms and the raw powers of the planet. Yet this luminous heritage was violently ripped away and deliberately shrouded in darkness, leaving humanity to wander through a diminished tale of primitive origins. Why was such towering grandeur hidden from us? And how did the sacred scrolls and pages of history become meticulously scrubbed of these dazzling truths? Picture towering spires and harmonious metropolises rising amid the verdant, untamed landscapes of the late Ice Age. At sites like Göbekli Tepe, these advanced beings erected enormous sacred pillars, their surfaces alive with intricate carvings that spoke of celestial wisdom long before any farmer turned the soil. They shaped immense stones of Puma Punku and Baalbek with an almost supernatural accuracy, fitting them together so perfectly that not even a blade of grass could slip between the joints. Ancient charts, passed down through trembling survivor hands, traced the ice-free shores of Antarctica with haunting precision, proving their mighty fleets had conquered horizons we once believed forever unknown. Then the catastrophe descended like the vengeful fury of forgotten gods. Around 12,000 years ago, comet strikes ignited an apocalyptic storm during the Younger Dryas. Colossal floods roared across the continents as melting ice sheets unleashed deluges of biblical scale, swallowing entire coastal empires in a thunderous, foaming embrace of water and chaos. Survivors, soaked and shattered, fled desperately to higher ground, clutching only flickering fragments of their once glorious sciences. They seeded emerging peoples with precious sparks of astronomy, agriculture, and architecture. That is why flood legends blaze so fiercely across every culture, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the Bible's Noah. They are not mere fables, but visceral, blood-soaked echoes of a world-shattering trauma that drowned a golden age. Nature's merciless fury provided the first devastating veil. Surging oceans devoured gleaming harbors and stone libraries, while earthquakes and tempests scattered the survivors like fragile leaves in a hurricane. In the brutal aftermath, weakened bands could no longer sustain the intricate webs of knowledge. Technologies that once illuminated their world slowly dissolved into myth, transforming brilliant engineers into distant gods and their laboratories into temples of half-remembered legend. Yet human ambition delivered the deeper, more calculated burial. As the scattered remnants coalesced into new kingdoms in Egypt, Sumer, and beyond, ambitious rulers and cunning priestly castes seized the reins of the narrative. They craved absolute dominion. To crown themselves as the sole founders of civilization, they recast the pre-flood masters as shadowy phantoms, punished for their towering hubris. The pre-cataclysm world became a dark realm of arrogance and divine judgment, its wonders reduced to stern moral warnings rather than proud ancestral inheritance. This deliberate reshaping wove raw power into the very soul of emerging societies. Sacred texts and early histories suffered the most savage editing. Original biblical compilations and allied ancient writings throbbed with vivid accounts of antediluvian splendors, advanced technologies, encounters with mighty beings, and a thriving world before the floods. During the solemn councils that forged the modern Bible, uncomfortable passages were ruthlessly excised or softened.
Interesting
Entire
video.
books overflowed with descriptions of lost sciences, towering figures, and forbidden insights too potent for the newborn doctrines of obedience and divine monopoly. Apocryphal scrolls still murmur these suppressed truths, hinting at a heritage too electrifying for centralized faith or throne to tolerate. The scrubbing was never accidental. It was a cold, strategic strike to streamline belief, erase rival sources of awe, and bind humanity to a simpler, more controllable story. Later guardians of knowledge perpetuated the vigilant erasure. In centuries past, institutions charged with unearthing relics quietly sidelined artifacts that shattered the approved timeline. Giant bones, anomalous tools, and inscriptions speaking of elder empires were hidden away or casually dismissed. The motive burned fiercely: preserve a comforting illusion of steady, linear progress from savage roots. Admitting a prior global civilization of dazzling intellect would unravel claims of cultural supremacy, ignite perilous questions about authority, and awaken the populace to its own majestic potential. Far better to keep the masses gazing forward in ignorance than backward in reverent wonder. Even after relentless pruning, the Bible still retains shimmering threads of the concealed
Couple
truth.
minutes here.
Visions of a pre-Noahic earth teeming with extraordinary knowledge, Nephilim giants striding the land, and monumental works pulse just beneath the surface. The Tower of Babel may represent a desperate, fragmented attempt to reclaim the lost heights of engineering and unity once mastered by the ancients. The edited scriptures emphasize heavenly punishment and human frailty precisely because the fuller accounts once celebrated inherited human brilliance and warned against repeating the deadly cycle of rise and ruin. Those bolder texts were buried not for falsehood, but for the existential threat they pose to fragile new orders. If these majestic civilizations truly existed, as the silent stones, enigmatic maps, and universal myths loudly proclaim they did, then the Great Concealment served three dark purposes: raw survival amid nature's cataclysm, ruthless domination by later elites, and spiritual monopoly through carefully laundered holy writ. Today we wander a world deliberately dimmed, taught to see ourselves as mere beginners rather than rightful heirs to titanic achievement. Yet the veil is finally thinning. Megalithic wonders still hum with ancient, unearthly power. Flood stories still thunder like distant warnings. The biblical pages, though meticulously cleansed, still glow with faint but unmistakable radiance from a far brighter yesterday. To pierce the concealment is to awaken. It demands we look beyond sanitized timelines and embrace the vivid, sometimes unsettling splendor of our true lineage. The ancients were hidden, but their legacy was never utterly extinguished. It pulses in the earth beneath our feet and the restless questions stirring deep within our souls. The time has come to brush away the dust of ages, reassemble the shattered mosaic, and step boldly once more into the brilliant, dazzling light they left behind. Start thinking outside the box that has been created for humanity to be trapped within. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. End transmission.
I'm William Brangham.
Okay, that was interesting. Okay, I got an 8-minute one, and then we got a Nick Shirley 15-minute one, Carol, and then we'll do Mel 38.
Feel right to you. You'd rather leave the situation than fake your way through it. Being dishonest just isn't in your nature. It feels wrong to you. You also don't get along well with people who aren't genuine. Whether they're focused only on material things, love to gossip, or are bullies, you just can't connect with them. You also have a kind of fake radar, a special sense for detecting when someone is being fake. This ability to spot insincerity from a distance is like a natural gift you have. It's one of the things that sets you apart as a chosen one. You're not just true to yourself, but you also have a knack for recognizing when others are, or aren't, being true as well. You thirst for more. You're not the kind of person who's happy just going through the motions of everyday life. While some people find comfort in regular routines, you always feel like there's something more, something bigger out there for you. The idea of just fitting in and doing what everyone else does feels like a trap you don't want to fall into. You understand that there's more to life than just a regular job and following society's rules. You're not held back by the limitations that seem to keep others stuck in one place. You know there's a big, amazing world out there to discover. A world that's far beyond just being average. Like the poet Robert Frost said, you're choosing to take the road less traveled. You're opting for a path that's different from what most people choose, and you know that this choice will shape your life in ways that are truly special. You're going through so much. Many are called, but only a few are chosen. The ones that are chosen are the strongest. They are tough and face the hardest battles. As a chosen one, your life is meant to be filled with challenges right from the beginning. These difficulties serve a purpose. They make you stronger and wiser. When you navigate through dark and hard times, you gain the skills and understanding to guide others who are going through their own struggles. Your experiences equip you to be a beacon for those who are lost or in pain. In a way, the hardships you endure can prevent many others from having to experience the same pain and heartache. By confronting and overcoming your challenges, you make the path easier for those who come after you. Each difficult moment in your life, every pain, every struggle, every test, and every challenge has a reason behind it. Nothing is wasted. These experiences are there to help you grow spiritually and to give you the wisdom you need to make the world a better place. Even when you're going through your own tough times, you somehow find the strength to help others with their struggles. You may not always realize it, but you're acting as a savior and healer for them. You're not just taking care of yourself, you're also a servant and a helper, making life better for the people around you. You quest for truth. Ever since you were young, you've been someone who really wants to know the truth. You're not afraid to question the way things are or challenge what everyone else believes. While other people might just go along with what they're told, you'd rather listen to your own heart and make your own way. You're always asking questions and looking for deeper meaning in life. You're driven by this deep curiosity to explore and understand the mysteries of existence. And you know that the real answers aren't always out there in the world. Often, they're inside you. Like the philosopher Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. You really believe that. So you're on a quest, a journey to explore yourself and understand who you are. You're not just living life, you're really digging deep to understand it and yourself. You're a black sheep. Being the black sheep in your family is another clue that you're a chosen one. You've always felt different, like you don't really belong. You might even have wondered if you were adopted because of how unlike your family you are. When they all go one way, you go the other. Maybe your political beliefs are different, or you just see the world in a unique way that they don't understand. Feeling so different can sometimes make you feel lonely or cut off from your family. It's like you're marching to the beat of a different drum, and no one else hears the music you're playing. It can be hard, feeling like you're in a world of your own, while surrounded by people who should feel like home. But it's also a sign that you're meant for something different, something bigger than just fitting in with everyone else. You're a good person. Despite having been treated badly or taken advantage of in the past, you still choose to be kind and do good things for other people. That's because you have a really pure heart, and it's a big reason why you're a chosen one. You're the type who naturally wants to make people happy, sometimes even letting them take more from you than they should. It's not because you're weak, it's because you genuinely love to help. Helping others is just part of who you are. It's in your DNA. Some people might think they're taking advantage of you, but you allow it to happen because you're a natural giver. You feel most alive and most yourself when you're giving to others, even if you don't get much back in return. This giving nature of yours is a clear sign that you're someone special, someone chosen for a bigger purpose. You have an inner knowing. You can try to ignore it all you want, but deep down, you know you're chosen. It's like a gut feeling you can't shake, a fire in your soul that keeps telling you you're here for something big. You just know you're meant to make a difference in the world. You feel like an old soul, like you've been around longer than your years. The way things work on Earth, people bossing each other around, all the hate and fighting, it just doesn't make sense to you. Sometimes you even feel like you belong to a different place, somewhere far from here, and you find yourself missing that unknown home. The feeling is strong. You're not like everyone else, and you're not here just to go along with the flow. You're here to change things, to make the world better. And no matter how much you might try to deny it, that calling won't go away. People dislike you. Sometimes people just don't like you, even though you haven't done anything wrong. This can be really confusing, especially because you're a good person. The reason for this is that the goodness in you, the light inside you, makes some people uncomfortable. It's like your light highlights the darkness in them, the parts they aren't proud of. As you grow spiritually, that inner light of yours will shine even brighter. While many people will love you for it, some might react strangely or even negatively. It's important to know that this isn't really about you. It's about them and their own issues. So don't let anyone dim your light. Keep being the amazing person you are and let go of the negativity. Trust that the universe has your back, and remember that you're guided and protected from above. Don't worry about the people who don't get you. Just keep shining because you're here for a greater purpose. You believe in a much higher power. Unlike some people who might disrespect spiritual ideas, you deeply respect the powers of the universe or God. You see things that others might miss. You understand that everything is unfolding just as it should, according to a higher plan. You're what's known as a light worker, someone whose job it is to bring light and love into the world. Deep down, you know this is your true calling. Because of this important mission you've been given, you're guided and protected by higher powers. You don't have to be afraid of anything, because you're on a path that's been laid out especially for you, and you're not walking it alone. So my friends, if you see these signs that we've discussed in the video, you should listen to the call. It is a sign from a higher power, urging you to fulfill a mission while you're living on this earth.
I think that was a powerful one, huh, you guys? This is what my channel is, staying together, right? We're all staying together and loving each other and not giving up. We made it this far. We lost a lot of good patriots, but we're hanging in there. I think that was a very important one there. $16 on this one, Nick Shirley. And now.
Energy bills and DTE rebates on energy efficient equipment put the cherry on top. DTE.
It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move.
Across America, there has been an influx of Haitian migrants being dropped off into small towns after rumors and videos of Haitian migrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, and then Donald Trump saying on national television,
"They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats."
I wanted to give you an inside look as to how hundreds of thousands of Haitian migrants have entered into small communities across America. In this video, I'll be visiting 2 countries and 3 states across America to really show how all this happened and how communities are being affected from this influx of Haitian migrants. Due to gangs taking over the country and the economy of Haiti, it is now estimated that 1 out of 25 Haitians are now living in the United States, and it has been proven and admitted by the current government that they have flown in over 400,000 illegal immigrants into the country using the CBP One app. And most recently, in a small town in Pennsylvania with a population of around 4,000, they received over 1,000 Haitian migrants that suddenly appeared in the city, and it is now just coming out in the news.
They let in 3,500 Haitians. The place looks like a nuclear bomb.
In the main street in town, I found some of the Haitian migrants that had set up their own stores, and I tried to speak to some of them, but none of them spoke English. We're down here in downtown Charleroi. What's interesting, we just walked into this store right here. 3 Haitians, none of them speak English, but then if you come to this street right here, what's even more interesting is this one says Virgo by Western Union. Western Union is a way for people to send money to other countries, and so what they are doing is they have all these shops that are set up here where they're able to make money here inside the United States and then go to a place like Western Union and send that money back to their country in Haiti. And this is another store here on the main street where they can transfer money over to other countries like Haiti. How long have you been here for?
I have 2 months.
¿Y cómo llegaste aquí?
¿Cómo llegaste aquí? Con visa.
Con visa.
Yeah.
Pero aplicación CBP1.
Esa cosa un poquito personal, disculpe. No puede responder ese tipo de palabras, pero es un poco personal.
Cuando llegaste aquí en avión a los Estados Unidos?
Aquí sí, con avión. Que habla, dice que aquí tiene tanto palabra, dice que los americanos no quieren ver los inmigrantes que viven aquí.
¿Es la verdad que el gobierno les da dinero cuando llegaste aquí?
Normalmente yo creo que cuando la gente viene aquí, si la persona tiene plata, dinero, para vivir igual que viene.
And when the Haitians come in here, are they using money from the government, or is it like a card from the government, or are they giving like physical cash?
Physical, not like they work, so yeah, physical sometimes, but it's usually like EBT. So when the government tries to help them, that's what they usually give.
How long have you been here for?
3 years.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
And are people upset with all the migrants that have came here into the city?
No, never see that.
How do you feel about all the other migrants that recently came into Charleroi?
I feel good because they come in to put the city going up. Before you can make like 400 1 week. Now it's better than 400. You see, America changed, everything changed, man. So the immigrant help this country.
Yeah.
They really help the country. I don't see nothing bad here. Nothing bad. Everything slow down. Your people, my people, Spanish people, African people, Asian people, Nepal people, a lot of people here, but it's like for like 14 nations here in Charleroi.
And do you think the United States of America should keep allowing migrants to come into small towns like Charleroi?
America need people, man. America need people because we work, when we come in here, we work 7 a day. So it's not something we come in to be lazy, you know. We help the country, man. We help the town.
Do any of the migrants receive money from the government once they arrive here into Charleroi?
Yeah, the government helps a little bit.
And what do they help with?
SNAP food, from ABT. So I don't know. I just got help from ABT, but a lot of people got different help. You feel me?
How much money does the government give to some of the migrants?
In Florida, I remember when I was in Florida, Miami, they give me 700. You feel me? So when I'm coming here, it's coming down to $291. So it's some food money.
Okay, so they give you money for food only.
Yeah, but you pay that too when you start working. You pay it back. You pay everything by tax. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, with taxes, right?
Yeah, I pay everything. And Medicare, all is like 200 tax every fucking week. So that's why we use it.
As black folks, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there's another race coming in, and okay, they want to be more superior than them, and they want, hold on, they get government assistance, and government won't give us assistance. So I see a lot of jealousy and enviousness going on.
I don't think anyone's saying these people are bad people. I think the people are just upset, like you just said right now, that you feel like they're taking over and getting the resources that you should be getting, right?
Right. Well, I'm there getting the resources too. You know what I mean? I guess they out there for whoever want to get them. But at the same time, I understand what people are saying about that. But it's not them that's doing it. It's the government and it's the companies. Because they can pay them lower money to work for them versus giving them, I guess, what they want to pay us.
And what kind of benefits are the migrants getting once they come here to the town?
From the government, they probably getting money from the government. You know what I mean? From what I heard, you know what I mean? They give them tens of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? And help them get properties and jobs and cars. And we trying to figure out, I mean, well, how's they driving when they can't read or understand the language too much?
They cause a lot of car crashes here?
There's been a couple. There's been a few. Yeah, they done ran in somebody's house and everything.
You guys are moving out. And why
they're moving out. I'm helping them move out. I moved out last year over this. I actually used to live right there.
And why are so many people deciding to move out of Charleroi?
Because, I mean, they're taking all the jobs, basically. There's no help for the people here. These people just get to run around to do pretty much whatever they want.
Yeah, and why do you think the government is incentivizing these people to come to these small towns like this one here?
I don't understand it. It's not fair to them either, because once these factories dry up, where are these people going to work?
And so you moved out of Charleroi because the prices were going up, or
the prices of rent were going up. As like I said, the landlords too, they're taking advantage of the migrants coming in, so they're up in the rent because they can get double what they're getting off of normal people, like compared to a year ago from these migrants.
How much were you paying in rent?
I was paying $550, and then it went up to I think $1,200 is what it's at now.
Do you feel like now the city of Charleroi, well, the government in general, is putting the migrants over the American citizens?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what would incentivize them to do that?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think it's political.
How much money do you think these migrants are receiving from the government?
I mean, I've heard they get anywhere from $900 to $1,100 for a single person.
A month?
Yes. Then they get some kind of a cash benefit. I believe it's $2,400.
$2,400 a month as well. So it's not the problem that these people are Haitians. It's not a race thing. They're nice people.
I work for a lot of them. I do a mobile mechanic business. They're nice people. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the influx of them. And then that encourages the landlords to jack the rent up because they know they got the money for it. Considering Charleroi didn't have a huge population before and then to dump so many off here just don't make any sense to me.
But how many people do you think are living inside of these homes?
I've worked on a few of these houses. I've seen up to 12 people in a 2-bedroom house.
And that's why they're able to raise the rent so much, because they got 12 people that are all getting $1,200 from the government.
Some of these landlords, not all of them, but some of them will do what they do is they'll charge per head for these Haitians. So they'll take a regular house like that one there. They'll put 8 or 9 of them in there and charge them $750 a month per person.
Wow, so these landlords are making a lot of money off all these migrants coming to this town.
Yeah, that's what makes it terrible. Because now they're jacking the rent up. The normal people who used to live here can't afford to live here.
How did they get here?
They go to Columbus, Ohio, and somewhere in New Jersey, and then they kind of just drive down here. They give them cars and everything. You'll notice a lot of Ohio temporary tags when you're driving around. That's where they come from.
Really? How are they getting these cars if they're not citizens? They don't have driver's license.
Government's giving it to them. Simple as that. They give them an allowance for vehicles. I know that.
What I want to know is how are they coming in as quickly? I don't have a problem with immigration if you do it the right way. As far as the whole thing of eating pets, have I seen it? No. Is it possible? Yes, I believe so, because of the fact that a lot of these people practice voodoo. It is their religion. We have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I do feed the stray cats in town, and it seems like there's not a lot of them anymore. My sister's concerned about me being here election night if President Trump wins again. She's afraid of retaliation. And I said, I'm not leaving. It is what it is.
Yeah, from retaliation from the Haitians?
Yes.
What do you see here on the streets on the daily?
Garbage everywhere, dog crap. The alleys are all bad. They fly through the alleys like it's a racetrack. Like I said, they ride around with no license plates on their cars sometimes.
Would you ever imagine that your small town of Charleroi to look like this?
No, never.
And why do you think the government is targeting small towns like Charleroi?
I have no idea.
From Charleroi, we then head to Springfield, Ohio, where they had recently received an influx of nearly 20,000 Haitian immigrants. When I arrived at Springfield, Ohio, none of the Haitian migrants agreed to speak on camera. However, I did meet some migrants who were flown into the country using the CBP-1 app. Did you guys come here with the Haitians? ¿Vinieron aquí con los haitianos?
Sí.
¿Cómo llegaron aquí usted y su familia? How did you guys get here, you and your family?
Bien por la cita de CBP-1.
Por el CBP-1. So they came by the CBP-1 app y fueron trasladados en avión para llegar a los Estados Unidos?
Yes.
Really? You were flown by plane from Mexico or where did you guys catch your flight?
México a Columbus. Por escala.
Oh, wow. Wow, so they came straight from Mexico, then to Columbus, Ohio. Then I met a family who decided to spill all the information about what is actually happening in Springfield, Ohio. I know you guys have probably seen the news and everything like that. Do you guys believe the rumors to be true?
Yeah.
Have you guys personally ever seen anybody eating a cat or a dog here?
I seen a Haitian carrying a goose by its neck. And
Wow.
then we seen a van with like a whole bunch of cats in it.
Really?
And a Haitian driving it. It was a white van.
Really?
Full of cats.
How have you guys had any friends or family that have had their pets gone missing?
Yes. My aunt.
Can you tell us about that?
So she used to have this cat, and then so it's like an outside cat, and then next thing you know, give it about a week or two, it's gone missing, and we check her cameras, and someone's took it, and it was a Haitian carrying it down the road.
The school is like, I would say about like, I don't even know, like 50% of the schools, or maybe a little bit more, are Haitians. For the past couple of years, like they're filling the classrooms up, and we don't have the translators to help the teachers, and they're just really disrespectful. I mean, the footage got taken down, but before Christmas break, there's two Haitians got caught fighting in the stairway.
At school.
Yes, at school. There was video. Another thing, the age limit to go to school is 21.
Yeah.
And there'd be 21-year-olds in freshman classes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay because I'm not saying all of them, but some of my friends have literally got violated by them and harassed.
So their 21-year-olds are inside the high schools.
Yes. It's not okay.
What percentage of students at your high school would you say are migrants that have recently came into the United States?
I'd say like 60%. The top floor, the classes would literally be filled with Haitians. Every single classroom.
Lot of good
no
intel
white people,
today.
no nothing. It was just Haitians. And I
Again.
know that for a fact because the translators would be in there. That's where the translators are.
And are the rumors true that they have eaten cats and dogs of people here?
I've not seen it myself, but our geese population down here at the park, it's went way, way, way down. Before when you drove in the park, you would have to stop and let the geese come across, sit there for 2, 3, 4 minutes. And, it's like I tell everybody now, you can fly through there like NASCAR track. I understand why they leave their country because we've been watching it on YouTube about their country. But, to drop like 20,000 on us and, then they get all these money, get all the money, the new cars, the houses.
What kind of money and what kind of cars? Describe kind of the benefits that they are getting here.
I don't know exactly what kind of money they get, but I've been reading on the Crime Monitor that Dole, they brought them in, paying their rent, making sure, they got a way back and forth to work and that stuff.
And how much do you think they're paying them? Cheaper than Americans?
Yeah, diversity staffing up on High Street. Don't know if you guys have heard about that or not.
DEI or what?
Diversity.
Yeah.
Staffing. I guess they're only paying them like $12.50 an hour.
Sounds like there is some truth to some of the rumors that are being spread on the internet.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's all rumors. Some of it may be, but most of it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would we want to lie? We live here, and it's our town, community, and, why should we lie about it?
When the news came out, when Donald Trump was in the debate when he said they're eating the cats and dogs. And you guys living here in Springfield, Ohio, listening to national news. What was your guys' initial reaction?
Well, see, the same night that debate was on, they had a meeting up here at the town hall. And, and everybody blames Trump and Vance for getting that started. No, it didn't get started from them. Just telling the truth.
What's the priority, would you say, between Americans, homeless Americans, veterans, and then the migrants?
Well, the veterans and the homeless, honestly, they get treated like shit compared to the Haitians. Everybody's getting kicked out of their houses, and the Haitians are getting them because the landlord knows that they're getting a lot more money for them. So, they don't care about the renters.
Why would the city be for having this large influx of people come through?
Well, my opinion is they're making big money off of it.
In what ways do they make money?
Well, here we go. Get it fired up. The mayor uptown here, I won't say no names, he owns quite a bit of property around here, and that's about all that lives in his house. And he owns a funeral home. So, he's making money either way, living or for dying.
Holy cow. So the mayor of Springfield owns a lot of property here, and he is employing the Haitian migrants.
Yeah, he rents to them, so, he's making big money off of that.
And he also owns a funeral home.
Yeah, I won't tell you which one.
Holy cow.
Wow. Carol, that was a wild one.
Here's the pitch.
All right, well, it's Nell and Holly now. 38 minutes.
Welcome, Meg. Welcome. I know it's early for you and late for me.
It is. It's one of those things, isn't it? You go to say mayhem, but it certainly feels like mayhem out there in the big world too. So
It is.
It's
It
quite
certainly
okay.
is.
It's lovely to be here. It's lovely
Well,
to be here.
Thank you. I know you're back in Australia, so we have the time differences now with you and I. It was nice when you were on the East Coast with me. So what can you tell the audience on where we are this week? I know Trump, made that big ultimatum. He was going to bomb the hell out of Iran, and, everybody was in an uproar. What kind of president goes and uses curse words and says he's going to bomb a country to smithereens, raise hell. They thought that was very unpresidential, and he certainly got his point across how stern he was, that he meant business, that he's not fooling around. And it brought everybody to the table, but their ceasefire, they didn't adhere to it. So they're back bombing again. And knowing Trump how he is, he's not going to sit back and like that somebody agreed and then turns around the next day and starts bombing again. So what can you share with the audience on that?
Well, it's interesting because only yesterday I had a little epiphany, and I thought, we have to look at this in a different perspective, because it's always been the war on the currencies, and it's all about the money, as we've been saying for quite some time. But did he mean by putting a bomb on Iran is like, hurry up and get your stuff sorted so that we can go? Because there's many elements to that, and it's like the art of war. He's not going to go ahead and he comes out with these outlandish remarks. They're entertaining for some of us, but for the majority, it does seem as though he's going all out to create war, to create mayhem, so to speak. But I think it really is a war of words, in the sense that we've only got to look at the discussion regarding China and Taiwan. He's often said that's going to be the war to end all wars. And Taiwan, with IMF supposedly having this curtain raiser meeting, We're waiting for the transcript for that to come out because they're talking about that Taiwan was already a part of the province of China. So again, the war, I think, is different to how we're seeing it portrayed. Yes, there is still bombings going on, the physical side of things, but I really do believe this is a war of the peace, the freedom, and of course, then we can, go on to talk about the crossing of the Delaware. We watched this movie so many years, and the crossing of the Delaware thinks, well, I go straight to across, meaning XRP, XLM, the crossover, the changing of the system. So the war of words with DJT, I think, is always entertaining in the sense that it depends on the perspective that you're looking at. He is a businessman. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that he is a businessman. So when he talks, sometimes there's multiple meanings to what he's actually saying. But it certainly feels as though that we are waiting on Iran in the background, per se, regarding the financial system. So let's keep a very close eye on that, and we can do that, of course, like I said, watching the different forex markets and all the trading platforms of where is Iran now. So, but the bombing side of things, well, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But the war of words is certainly accumulating, that's for sure.
Yes. So you were talking about cryptocurrency and XRP. I just read now that, originally we had heard a couple of weeks ago, the Clarity Act is going to be passed by April 1st. I just read now it's moved to June. So, it's just all these things are constantly moving targets.
They certainly are, and it was an interesting. I was in a chat room just yesterday or the day before, and I was explaining this whole Clarity Act. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing at times. When we say the Clarity Act has been sort of like been working in the progress in the background, is that this week I took a different sideway approach on all different bills and acts that have just been sitting in the background. So we have all of these bipartisan bills that are just sitting there. They're dormant in the background. And Clarity Act is one of those. It's again one of those ones that I talk about in the sense that it's working in the background, but it hasn't been passed yet. But there is things to indicate that this process of this act. So what they do is they do these testings and things like that as well. Then they'll go back and they'll start again. And this is why we have this feeling that it's being pushed back out to June. But what it is that fundamentally the actual act itself is part of that whole big act called the Genius Act. So inside the Genius Act, there's a whole heap of other fundamentals that are going on to say if the Clarity Act hasn't passed, no, but it doesn't mean nothing's happening. It just means that there's certain elements in that foundation that are actually working in the background for it to be implemented. Once they pass it, then it's like, boom. But please understand that it's a fundamental act. It's being operating in the background. And that's why some people are saying it's not passed. And I said, but it's there. It has to be functioning in some form because we saw so many implementations and they look like the Genius Act. Parts of it. It's like I talked about the other day regarding the certain legislation that has to be passed in the Congress. And this is also very important to understand the Fiscal Commission Act, because it's never what the eyes are on watching over here and they're doing something over here. But I've been very, very curious to see about this new Fiscal Commission Act, and it's about to pass its Article 5, which is changing of the US Constitution. Now, I don't know about you, Holly, but changing parts of the US Constitution is pretty darn big, and it's changing that Constitution back to, of course, this is linked to our foreign currencies as well. So that one to me, as I said, everyone's focused on the Clarity Act, but there's many fundamentals that are going on in the background. So my eyes are also on the Fiscal Commission Act. So we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah,
So,
I have always said that the Clarity Act is probably implemented, running in the background, just not officially passed by the Congress. And, everybody's focusing on that, but it has to be, parts of it have to be implemented for the cryptocurrencies to be doing what they're doing.
Oh, 100%. And we've got, of course, and that all ties in with the banking license for Ripple as well. So this is the National Trust Bank licensing that we're also waiting to see as well. So there's many layers to this. And as I said, we've learned a lot more, I think, in the last 3 to 6 months than what we've ever learnt before. And these things are going to take time, unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time. So, yeah, I agree. So, yeah, Fiscal Commission Act, definitely keep an eye on that. That's one that I'm definitely got my little beady eyes on, because it's that's a very interesting act.
Yeah, that is
bipartisan. So
I also just read that Ripple was talking about buying Coinbase.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but that's like, whoa.
Yeah, there's, again, I think it's all intertwining, to be honest with you. This was part of the plan. We looked at Coinbase, as I said, they've been working in the background for quite some time now, integrating with Ripple, and it does not surprise me at all if they do.
Oh, really, Maria? Where did you hear it from? I hope it's over. So is it, what, any time?
This is not about purchasing Coinbase as in for control and things like that as well. This has all got to be integrated into the main system frame, the quantum system frame as well. So that's why that is all occurring. So it's interesting. I think there was a few of them up for grabs. You had the crypto.com, the Coinbase, Bybit was another one. They've all got their hand in the pie, so to speak, or pieces of the pie. So the Coinbase, that one didn't surprise me at all, only because of the logistics that they hold in the security factor side of things, where they have that their own special wallet as separate to their exchange as well. So that allows them, I think, for Ripple to, as I said, to use the Coinbase system is much more secure, in the sense that, as I said, they have these two different dynamics. It's easier to, as
Thanks,
they
Maria.
filter through their exchange into their wallets, that's where Ripple comes into play. So that dynamically and systematically, I think that's going to be a great thing. I really do. Is that Coinbase going to be that quantum wallet that I've been mentioning quite a lot about just recently as well, where that is your quantum account being incorporated as well? So as I always said, the system has been running parallels for so long, as you know, Holly, and I think that that's going to be a very close acquisition that we need to be keeping an eye on as well.
Absolutely.
But fundamentally, I think Coinbase
27
is
minutes.
one of those ones that could possibly be our quantum wallet.
So let's move on to, what are your thoughts on a safe link website for exchanging? Or how do you see that happening? Because I know as we get closer, things that we've been told may not turn out that way. It may not be anything like what we thought it was going to be. And also just wanted to, have you talk about scammers, because they are running rampant, because they know this is getting closer. And let's talk about that.
Oh, it is. I mean, for so many years, we've talked about these safe link 800 numbers, SafeLink emails, and what have you. And again, recently, it has come to the forefront, in my opinion, that I don't see how there's going to be these 800 numbers and these SafeLink websites, to be quite honest. I looked at this just recently in the recent week, and I've, like I said, taken a sideward step about this IMF World Trade / BRICS system. Everything is digital. Everything is going to be digital. Years ago, when we had the 800 numbers, that was pretty much all we really had as an opportunity to get notifications. Now that we're going quantum, everyone should be able to see now that quantum is working in so many special ways, not just even on our phones, but as we type on our computers and this, that, and all the rest of it. I don't think there's going to be a website link sent to your email. Email is one of those that is the easiest to be hacked just recently. So and then people ask me the question, well, how are we going to be notified? Well, those who have already been aggregated into groups and things like that as well, they're going to be notified, of course, directly from the treasuries. So that will all unfold as those groups are unfolding for their payments as well. But for those who are in sort of like T4B and the public, it's going to be not probably an announcement from DJT. I think it's going to be an announcement from those, as I said, the IMF or the fundamentals. These are international monetary funds, international. This is a global event. So you have to be understanding that if it's going to be a global event and we're all going to go at the same time, it's most likely going to be from one of those global conglomerates, such as the IMF or the World Trade Organization. We've seen so many times in the last 3 to 6 months regarding the trading that is going on between countries. And it's not just the actual trade deals, it's the currency deals and the currency swaps. So you want to be looking at perhaps even something in the Forex platforms as well. Are you going to see it in the crypto platforms? There's many, many ways, and people are so concerned or so consumed on they're going to miss out. We have to have our email sent to us and this, that. This is bigger than what it was, like I said, even 6 months ago. And I think that it's for the eyes to see and the ears to hear. DJT, again, is a business person. And I've been speaking about this for the last couple of weeks, is that we need to make sure that we start to be more business-minded. If you were in business, where would you go to find that information? Well, you'd be talking directly to other people, such as yourself, myself. You're not going to miss out on this. But what my point is that just recently I opened up a link thinking that it was from my lawyer, and it wasn't. It was a made-up link, and boom, everything is now gone again. So this is why I say to people, this open messages is to make sure that we know the sources of change. We know dinar recaps has changed. That's factual. No one's talking about that. But dinar recap's platform has changed as well. Is it safer than what it was before? We're about to find out. But my point being is that you open any link, and that link then opens up your world, and it can damage a lot of things. So for me, it's not about, you're not going to miss out. It's not going to be on an email. It's going to be for the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And I don't think that in this day and age, 20 years ago, yes, that's what we were told. Mm-hmm. But that hasn't changed, but technology has changed. Scammers have been able to get into all sorts of things. They can get into locked chat rooms as well. So my perspective is to keep your ears to the ground, your eyes on the Telegram and all those other sources that you already have. But be very, very, very cautious about opening up an email, because you open up a link of some sort, and that's opening up everything in your life. And so be very, very cautious of that. It's not about putting fear out there, as I said. It's about the banks are going to
21
know,
minutes.
the currency exchanges are going to know that there is a revaluation. Digitally, this is why I say I don't think it's going to be what we always thought it was going to be. With the digital currencies and the different platforms that are now being released, such as Revolut, Wise, and they've all had upgrades, but those exchanges are already being implemented, and you can see the fluctuations. Now, when that happened even 12 months ago, we never saw fluctuations in Wise per se. And that's why I always said, always keep an eye on your terms and conditions. Always keep an eye on your accounts on a regular basis so that you know what is going on in those bases. So for me, I don't think there's going to be an official announcement in the sense of an email. I think you're going to see it and you're going to hear about it. And it's going to be said by some of the global, corporations, as I said, as the IMF, who are in control of our monetary system. And that's what this is. So hence why I focus on that.
Do you think the IMF website might have some sort of link on there of what to do?
Well, look, that is definitely possible. And I mean, again, this will be linking you, if it was to be a link, it would link straight to your treasury, not through some other site. But know too that even our treasuries have also going through or continue to go through their ultimate changes in the background, because it's no longer the Department of Treasury, it's a Treasury Department, or the US Treasury, not your Federal Reserve Treasury. Right. So again, each country is going to have a different link to, but make sure, and this is why we'll keep reiterating, make sure you understand. And my South African group, they have been absolutely phenomenal, and they've never seen so many. We've been putting up quite a lot of changes in South Africa. Now, South Africa, of course, is part of BRICS. This is your BRICS pay system, your new quantum system. So they are they're keeping a very close eye on in South Africa at the moment. So if it's happening in South Africa, you can bet your bottom dollar it's happening across the world in these changes. So keep an eye on your treasuries and what's going on in your treasuries. Keep up to date with your treasury press releases, because it could be just a simple press release that they release as well, not necessarily a link. So for me, as I said, being a global event and having different countries in different worlds, having different names for their central banks and that now as well. And some central banks aren't operating. We spoke to the Canadian boys recently and they were in agreement, because I've been saying for some time, if you were to go into the Bank of International Settlements, international, there we go again, that there's a lot of central banks that don't operate through their settlements anymore. So again, these are the important factors regarding it's not going to be a safe link. It is international. This is a global event. It's going to be in each country. You're going to see some form of press release or some kind of information in those countries. But understand this, if it was to happen in the US Treasury, then you can bet your bottom dollar it's happening all over the world as well. So that's why we watch the US and that as well. But understand this is global. You have to look international on this. This is not just going to be a safe link just in America. If it was to be a safe link in America, that is only for America. That's my point as well. So if it was going to be a safe link from my Australian Treasury, then that might be okay. But please do not open up a US Treasury email. You're not in the US. Please be very, very cautious, because it would need to be from each of those countries. So again, there's about 3 or 4 different options there, Holly. As I said, for safety and security reasons, make sure that you take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Look at this logically. Is this safe for me? I'm living in Lithuania and I get a web link for the US, is that going to be safe? You need to stop and you need to think about those things and protect yourself and think about it logically. And if not, then you need to, like I said, keep an eye out on your treasuries and have a look in there. If there's one in there, I would be going with the one. If you're in Lithuania or wherever you are, please go and make sure you check all of that out, because this is global. So
I want to just make a little statement for those, because I know how people are. This is going to be confusing to them, and their hair is going to be on fire with this information, because they're going to be, we always told a SafeLink website. All right, so let's just all take a deep breath, everybody, because we don't have the rules of engagement yet. This is right now what Mel is saying potentially she sees happening. It's not carved in stone. And as we get closer, then we're going to get the rules of engagement on what to do for each country that you reside in. So we don't have that yet, and they're not going to give that out because there's so many people that will try to hack it or to try to scam you, because the scammers are running rampant. So just know these are potential scenarios of what could happen. And as we get closer, we will give you more details as we find out exactly how it's going to happen. So just relax, everybody.
You always bring what I say into pure clarity, Holly. I probably know you've known me more than I know myself sometimes. So thank you very, very much for that. This is, as I said, just an overview of my opinion. So please, as you say, Holly, I often get caught up in, Mel said, and I go, no, that's not what Mel said. Mel will give you her opinion or her perspective. It's not necessarily, as you say, carved in stone. Correct. But I'm looking at this from a different perspective, as I said, and taking a sideward step. And I think everyone should take a sideward step whilst they're waiting for this to all happen as well. So just a point of reference to help you get through. So, I'm sweating like anything here today. But yeah, I mean, it is certainly getting hot out there, Holly. It is extremely, extremely hot out there. So in all different aspects. So we'll see what happens, as you say.
A lot of people want to know when. That's the burning question, when. So can you give your perspective when you, not that I'm holding you, accountable to anything, but just how you see what's going on with world events and how, things are lining up. Obviously, everything gets pushed off and delayed, and, everybody feels like, they just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Well, there's things going on behind the scenes, like this whole situation with Iran. That's a big deal. That's got to be rectified. All 209 countries have to be on board with this. You can't have some countries go and leave other countries behind and say, oh, well, you weren't ready and we don't have an agreement with you. So you guys just wait until you're ready, but the rest of the world's going to go. No, all go or none go.
12 minutes.
So, there's things that come up that we just don't know have to be done until they're done. So everybody that's always shouting, today, tomorrow, and it doesn't happen, well, there's reasons why it hasn't happened. So based on where you see world events right now, what can you tell the audience who's hanging on, the edge of the cliff?
I always go with the perspective of let's have a look at what's happening this week, and because we still continue to see, as you said, changes, and these changes feel like they're pushing it down the track and then they're kicking the can and all of that. I made a statement the other day. This is in motion. There is slight movements of the cogs, okay? But when you think about the size of the cog, so to speak, it's kind of like it's a massive, slow process. It's like putting that last brick into the house. You've got a long way to go to put that last brick in the wall. So for me, as I said, we've got so many implementations still going on. There's still indicators that it's going to be late April before I see any major activity, around banks. The formation, of course, of the new trading platforms. They're having a massive upgrade on the 16th and 17th. That's going to be rather interesting in the sense that we look at these things as changes into the trading platform. Well, that's where we trade our currencies from. So I'm looking towards the late of April to see changes in the stock market, the changes in all the trading platforms as well after the 16th, because JP Morgan is doing a massive integration of NASDAQ EFTs. What's an EFT? It's an exchangeable tradable fund. These are investment funds. And inside of those investment funds, we're talking about the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange. And these are all going to be integrated into a new platform on the 16th. Is that a forced crash, perhaps? We will wait and see. Again, it's just one of those indicators. We then go into May. We've got all of these integrated changes, such as our payment system, such as BPay. They're going to have their upgrades up until the 31st of May. It doesn't mean that we have to wait that long. What it is that it's interesting when it comes to timing, because that brings us to June. And there was something that was a marker, I cannot remember it off the top of my head today, but there was a marker for June. And I'm going, that's interesting. 30 days to the 4th of July. So I think if we were to focus on what is going to happen on the 4th of July, is that going to be our New Year celebration? Is it? We don't know what calendar they're running on. We always talk about calendars and this, that, and all the rest of it. So is 4th of July going to be that? Who knows? But the best thing to do, Holly, as you and I always say, you need to keep living life.
Yep.
If this is becoming too much to bear, so to speak, of the bearing on, then stop focusing on it. Take a break. Take it, like I said earlier, take a sideward step, put it to the background and focus on what you need to do right now for you, for your family, for your health. We talked about holistic health and holistic wealth the other day. They come part and parcel, but your health is far more important than your wealth. Because if you're not healthy, then this wealth is virtually useless to you if you're not looking after yourself. So holistic health is the first thing. So take care of yourself. And that also includes your mental health as well. So this is becoming too much of a burden, then take a sideward step. Come back and look at it after a week, even a week. Sometimes I take a day off and I come back and I go, geez, I missed all of that exciting news. That's me. That's for me, though. For some people, it feels as though that they're kicking the can or they're pushing it down the road, and the Clarity Act's not going to be done until June. As we said, this is huge fundamentals of a massive cog, a massive wheel that is slowly about to click. And every time it starts to click over, it will then bring momentum. We haven't got the momentum flow. There is foundations of, we're seeing, as I said, I slipped it out the other day, we are seeing things in the background. There is money, but it is not liquidity yet. Yeah. This is what I said in my show the other day. Has it started? Yes, it has started. So the grip is still tight, and I get that. But you and I have never, ever said it has started previous to this. And I know it started because of this, the things on the fundamentals that we're seeing in the changing of the US Constitution. When was the last time we had an actual adjustment to the US Constitution, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't remember ever. So that's big.
It is huge. So that's why I took a sideways step, looked at this from a different angle. I always tilt my head when I say that. Always look at things from a different angle. This is not about you. This is about the world. It is about changing the world that you live in. So that's why I say focus. So
I want to give everybody a perspective when we talk about liquidity and funding. So imagine if you have a well in the ground and it flows through the pipes, the water, and then it gets to your faucet and it stays there, but it's not turned on. So they are funding from the well through the pipes, all these countries, all the sovereigns, the elders, the royals. It's all been funded out of the well through the pipes, and it's stuck at the faucet. So liquidity is when they turn on the faucet and the water flows through or the money flows through. And we don't have liquidity yet. Everybody's getting funded, but there is no liquidity. They have not turned on the spigot. So that's what we're waiting for. You know, you can't get water just because it's in the pipe. You can't get water unless the spigot's on. So you have to wait. We have to wait until that is turned on, which is a trigger event, the liquidity event. And then that's when we'll start to see things at our level. But, you know, things are being done behind the scenes where we don't see it coming from the well through the pipes, waiting at the spigots of, you know, every country and every sovereign and elder. So.
No, that's exactly right. And we often refer to it as liquidity is water, the water, watch the water, ladies and gentlemen. It is, as I said at the beginning of the show, this is a war of words, but it also comes back to the liquidity of the transfer of wealth. And Iran don't obviously want to let go of their little hold, but don't get consumed on that, because that is just one of those, faucets that have just, the water is not quite made it there yet, I don't think. But it is the principles, the pipeline is there. We saw the pipeline would have been, I think, about 4 months ago. There was an article that came out, I think, in CoinDesk or CoinGap, I think it was, and they talked about Iran being actually ready, per se, on the actual fundamental system, the quantum system. They're just struggling to let that be exposed to the people. So, again, it's a military operation. There could be some other elements to the cleaning up of the corruption as well within that country. So, again, we're not in the power to know everything that's going on, but we're certainly here for the long haul. And we have been here for the long haul, especially you, Holly. So we always are very grateful and gracious when we hear the beautiful Holly explain that in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So thank you very much, Holly. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Do you have any final words for the audience before we sign off?
No, I think I know it's very difficult for many people, but stay positive, stay excited, focus on those fundamentals, and allow yourself to change your mind. When we go back, and I just had this download just come to me. So I'm always speaking through God when I speak like this, but also know, ladies and gentlemen, give yourself permission to change your mind. And what I mean by that is it's okay to change your mind. Don't get so caught up in what you thought you knew before, as in the safe web link site, and all of those kind of things. It's okay to change your mind, because this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a mindset. So set your mind, keep your mental health in check, stay savvy, stay safe, and we'll see you all on the flip side. We look forward to catching up with you all very, very soon. So thank you again, Holly.
Thank you. And it's also really good to just stay so flexible. Like, don't be set into any one mindset or way things have to be. Just be like a willow tree where you just kind of go back and forth, as the wind takes you. Just flow with whatever,
Hey,
because it's all about
let's see.
change. And
Hope everyone's
again,
good.
we don't know how it's going to be at the end when it is our turn. So we have to just be flexible. So thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. And
Okay, Spawns, we got 2 days in a row with Nell. So we're going to do a bunch of short clips, our regular short ones, and then I got the YouTube lady will do last for the first show. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that one, but it's a good one. We'll get that for the last video. Still no Billy Bean out. Okay. We'll go ahead and get going on the shorts. Can't remember if we played this one.
Leaving a white trail across the blue. From the ground, it looks so peaceful, almost slow. But right now, that metal tube is hurtling through the sky at over 500 miles per hour in a freezing-style environment. If you travel often, you might have noticed a pattern. Almost every commercial flight you've ever been on cruises right around the same altitude, somewhere between 35,000 and 40,000 feet. But why? Space officially begins at over 300,000 feet. The sky is massive. Why do we stick to this narrow, invisible highway? Why not fly at 50,000 or 60,000 feet to avoid turbulence and bad weather entirely? Welcome to Simple Things, Surprising Histories. Today we're uncovering the invisible physics, the engineering limits, and a terrifying aviation concept known as the coffin corner. Let's start with a simple balancing act: air. Down near the ground, the Earth's atmosphere is thick and heavy. That's great for our lungs, but it is terrible for flying fast. Pushing a massive airliner through thick air is like trying to run through a swimming pool. The friction creates massive drag, which means the plane has to burn a tremendous amount of fuel just to push forward. So, planes climb higher. Up at 35,000 feet, the air is much thinner. There's less resistance, meaning planes can fly faster while burning far less fuel. But you can't just keep climbing forever. Jet engines work by sucking in oxygen to burn fuel. If you go too high, the air becomes so thin that the engines literally can't breathe. They would starve and flame out. At the same time, the wings need enough air molecules to push against to keep the heavy plane in the sky. Between 35,000 and 40,000 feet is aviation's Goldilocks zone. Not too thick, not too thin. Just right. But there's a much darker, more surprising reason planes don't fly higher. It's an aerodynamic trap that pilots call the coffin corner. As a plane climbs higher into thinner air, it has to fly faster just to generate enough lift to stay up. If it flies too slow, it stalls, loses lift, and starts to fall. So higher altitude means you must maintain a higher minimum speed. But here's the catch. As you go higher, the temperature drops dramatically, and in freezing air, the speed of sound actually decreases. If a commercial airliner flies too fast, the air rushing over its curved wings can hit the speed of sound, creating supersonic shock waves that destroy lift and can literally shake a commercial plane apart. So, as you climb, your minimum safe speed goes up and your maximum safe speed comes down. If you climb high enough, those two speeds eventually meet. At that altitude, fly 1 mile an hour too slow and you stall. 1 mile an hour too fast and you break apart. Airliners stay at 40,000 feet to keep a safe, comfortable distance from this deadly corner. Beyond the engines and the wings, there is the most fragile part of the plane: you, the passengers. At 40,000 feet, the outside air pressure is so low and oxygen is so scarce that a human would pass out in less than 20 seconds. That's why aircraft cabins are heavily pressurized, pumping safe air into the tubes so you can read a book and drink your coffee. But engineers have to plan for worst-case scenarios. If a window were to break or a door seal failed, the cabin would depressurize instantly. At 35,000 feet, oxygen masks drop, and pilots have enough time to dive the plane down to a safe, breathable altitude, usually around 10,000 feet. If a commercial plane were cruising at 60,000 feet and lost pressure, your time of useful consciousness drops to just 3 to 5 seconds. It is simply too dangerous for a massive commercial jet full of everyday people to fly that high. Now, there have been historical exceptions. The legendary Concorde was specially designed with massive delta wings and incredibly powerful engines to cruise at 60,000 feet, giving its passengers a stunning view of the curvature of the Earth. And today, smaller, lighter private business jets can regularly fly up to 51,000 feet. But for the massive, heavy commercial jets carrying hundreds of people around the world every single day, the sweet spot remains right there at 40,000 feet. It is the perfect, invisible marriage of safety, fuel efficiency, and physics. Next time you're looking out an airplane window, you'll know exactly why you are where you are. If you enjoyed this journey into the sky,
that was an interesting one. We now know
from the regime media. I wonder why that is. It's almost like they don't report on the things that actually should matter to Americans, the things that are actually attacking democracy, the things that are actually being used to subvert American citizens. John Solomon, frequent guest of the show, over at Just the News, obtained explosive documents showing that the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, our highest federal law enforcement agency, conducted a tabletop exercise, that's what they call it, in the summer of 2020, months before the election, specifically gaming out what kind of chaos might happen if the presidential election was contested. So just, I don't know, let that sink in for a second or two. Think about that for a minute. The FBI, under Christopher Wray, was sitting around in August of 2020, running scenarios about post-election violence, devising strategies like deploying undercover informants. I wonder where they could have been on January 6th. And pursuing mass prosecutions for minor crimes. And these are the exact same tactics, again, guys, they later used after January 6th. They had the playbook written before the game even started. I wonder again why they would have to do that. I wonder. FBI Director Kash Patel turned these long secret memos over to Congress just last week, and they paint an absolutely damning picture of the bureaucracy in the FBI, of the corruption, of all the things that we know, that this was a plan, guys. It was all a setup. Does anyone actually think January 6th wasn't like the failsafe? You know, if the bomb's under the bench at the DNC and the RNC, you know, if they don't really get the attention that it needs, you know, maybe we could just get them to break into the Capitol building. I wonder if we could insurrect. The FBI's Boston field office led this exercise, and they recommended developing what they called a robust source base that would be embedded with potentially violent groups. They recommended pursuing heavy-handed prosecutions for even minimal criminal activity as a deterrent. Sounds very familiar. And here's the kicker, guys. These memos also warned that foreign enemies like Iran and China were likely to foment domestic violence on U.S. soil. Remember, the left and the legacy media spent years telling you that any talk of Chinese or Iranian election interference was just a conspiracy theory, guys. It's just a conspiracy theory, right? That it couldn't have happened. Now, is that going to be Iran and China? We're going to do it, maybe with their help, but we're going to do it ourselves. You know, the FBI. The FBI's own internal documents said otherwise. They spent years telling you there were no federal assets on the ground on January 6th, in addition to all the other lies and misdirection that they gave us for months and even years after the fact. We now know.
Okay, Don Jr. Three minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I appreciate everything that all of you do. I appreciate all of you being here, no matter which side of this argument you are on, because we are all parents and we are all passionate about our children, no matter which side we are on. We are together in that. Can we agree on that? Yes. Again, I thank you all. I've probably taken a little bit off my time. My name's Kelly Phillips. I live at 201 Lafitte Cove in Hermitage. I'm a mother of three, 19 years old, 16, and almost 3. We have been told as parents to follow the science. In my opinion, if you follow the science, you will see that masks do not stop the spread of a small aerosol particle found in a COVID virus or a respiratory virus such as the common cold. They never have and they never will. Kids are going to touch their faces more often, especially younger ones, with these masks on their face. The masks are going to get full of germs. By the end of the day, they're going to put in pockets, backpacks. But at the end of the day, they're supposed to be brought home and disinfected, because that's my responsibility as a parent. Not to mention the fact that teachers have no way to police this, whether they're placed properly here, here, or here, such as an N95 mask. If they're not put on right, they don't do any good. So why bother at all if they're not going to be used correctly? The psychological toll on young children during this, for instance, my almost 3-year-old, he has a sensory disorder. He cries when mommy has on a mask. He cries when somebody tries to make him wear a mask. Therefore, I do not go anywhere that makes him wear a mask. Dr. Battle said in her video that we don't know enough about this virus to make decisions to change our protocol. Exactly. We don't know enough about it. And I'm not willing to risk the long-term health of my child breathing in from a mask that we are meant to exhale. We exhale from our bodies. We don't recirculate it. When will it end? Because if it doesn't end with this, I guarantee you, it's going to come to one of you and any of you, and it will be personal, and it will be more important than a mask. Because if we don't stop it now, it won't stop. I'm not telling anybody here that you don't have the right to wear a mask. I'm not telling you you don't have a right to put a mask on your child. I'm asking you not to take it away from me. It is my God-given right. I was charged with 3 souls on this planet. I will fight until my last breath for every one of them. Till my last breath. Like I said, no matter what your stance is on this, we are united in the fact that we love our children. Let me have the right and the opportunity to decide what to put on my child. Thank you very much.
Matthew Walsh. Kelly.
Powerful there. Got 3 short Q videos coming up. TikTok.
If you guys saw the video I posted on my other channel earlier today, I was a little bit out of sorts, but I'm back. I'm back, baby. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to you about what we now know was interference of elections last night. Okay. Now, were we going to win those elections? I think we had a chance. The governor's races, they didn't help themselves. They didn't go after Trump's endorsement. They were afraid that by having Trump too close, that they might actually alienate people. They forgot that Trump was closer in Virginia and closer in New Jersey than anyone has been in a very long time, that he brought people over. But that was their strategy. It is what it is. Now, the thing that concerns me, though, is that we're in the middle of this government shutdown. Now, we now have proof. We have proof that in the Senate that Chuck Schumer forbade anyone to have a vote on ending the shutdown until after the elections. They knew that they needed that distraction. They knew that they needed that to be able to harp on and say, Trump wants you to starve, and this is what's going on, because Trump doesn't care about regular people. Now, this is absolutely a crock of crap, and you guys know this to be the case, but we're not getting the truth from either side, okay? We're not getting the truth about why this shutdown is actually taking place. I mean, of course, the Republicans have said, well, we want to make sure that we're not giving Obamacare to illegals. This is the truth of the matter. I always keep it positive. I always try to keep it positive anyway. If you guys saw the video I posted on my...
Okay, 2 more Q videos.
Say I am Q. So, man, oh man, I love it. It makes me smile that Fani Willis is being absolutely destroyed right now, not only in the court of public opinion, not only has her own party turned their back on her and seen her for the hack that she truly is, all of her cases are now falling apart. So you guys know that she attempted to make life rough on Donald Trump by going at Trump through his supporters, at attacking A, his supporters, B, those that were co-conspirators that were trying to help him figure out what took place in 2020. She wanted to make sure no one would ever stand with Donald Trump ever again. And you know what? Many people have stood 10 toes down for Donald Trump and said, you know what? Do what you will. I'm going to stand for the truth. I'm so thankful for those people that have true courage. We unfortunately, have seen a whole lot of spineless people, but thank God for the ones that actually have courage and have said, we're going to stand by Donald Trump. And I believe that Donald Trump will reward that type of loyalty to not just Donald Trump, because I mean, it's a lot bigger than that. Loyalty to their country. And I'm truly thankful for these people. One such person is Harrison Floyd, Black Voices for Trump, there in Fulton County. He was tried with RICO. Obviously, everybody he was tried with RICO, and in addition to that, influencing a witness. Now, they've been trying to get this court case thrown out and haven't been able to do so. Finally, his lawyers brought a fantastic argument, and immediately Scott McAfee ruled that he granted a certificate of immediate review from the appellate court. What's up?
Okay, one more, and then I got a 5-minute one, and then we'll finish off with the YouTube lady, and I'll be back at, that would be 3:30. We'll say 5 o'clock.
Q. So, man, oh man, I love it. It makes me smile that Fani Willis is being absolutely destroyed right now, not only in the court of...
Okay, we're going to do this one. 5 minutes.
About him and missed him every day of my life. But growing up without him was made easier thanks to all the people who kept him in their hearts, who told me that he inspired them to work and fight and believe in a better world, to give something back to this country that has given so much to so many. I remember hiding underneath my father's Oval Office desk when I was little and sitting on his lap on the honey fits. He would point out the white shark and the purple shark who always followed the boat, although I could never quite see them. He said they especially liked to eat socks and would have his friends throw their socks overboard, which I loved. President Kennedy inspired a generation that transformed America. They marched for justice. They served in the Peace Corps, in the inner cities, in outer space. His brothers carried on that work, fighting against poverty, violence, and war, championing human rights, health care, and immigration. As my father said in his inaugural address, this work will not be finished in our lifetime. It's up to us to continue to pass these values on to our children and grandchildren.
One of the defining relationships in my life is with someone I have never met, my grandfather, President John F. Kennedy. It's a little odd to be connected to someone you don't know, especially when everyone else has access to much of the same information about him that you do. Throughout my life, I have been able to connect with my grandfather through the study of history, which I know he loved, both studying his life and studying the eras and patterns that fascinated him. To me, that is where he lives, as a historical figure rooted in the past, but also as a person connected to so much of what came after him, through his writings and from the stories my relatives have told me. But while my grandfather had reverence for the past and the lessons it could impart, he also knew that America was a country where change was possible, but we aren't bound solely by tradition if we understand the past with which we are breaking.
Anybody see this one?
I'm inspired by my grandfather's sense of equality, his courage in naming the injustices in American society, and his call for action. His words and his ideals mean so much to me and to the world we live in today. But we are still faced with tremendous inequality and injustice, from voting rights to our criminal justice system and mass incarceration. My grandfather would be proud of how far we've come as a nation since 1963, but he'd have been the first to tell us that we have a long way to go. I hope everyone, regardless of age or party, will remember what President Kennedy told America decades ago. This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened.
President Kennedy was elected on a platform of challenges and not promises, not for what he would offer the American people as president, but what he would ask of them. My favorite speech is the one that President Kennedy gave at Rice University, where he makes the case for sending a man to the moon. He said that that challenge was worthwhile not because it would be easy, but because it would be so hard. My generation will inherit a complicated world with countless unsolved problems. Climate change is just one of them, but it's the type of challenge I think my grandfather would have been energized about and eager to solve. He cared deeply about the environment, about science and technology, and he recognized that only America leads the world in solving global problems can we make sure that it's done right. From that speech at Rice, and from the space program he helped launch, we can learn a simple but important lesson. Great challenges are opportunities, and it is each generation's responsibility to meet those challenges with the same combination of energy, faith, and devotion that President Kennedy and his contemporaries displayed decades ago. I know that we're up to the task, but we have to demand action from our leaders, and we have to vote.
As his family, we're so proud of what my father stood for during his life, and how powerful those values remain today. I hope that these reflections on President Kennedy's life and his influence on those of us who share his legacy will encourage people across the United States to look at challenges in their own corner of the world and seek solutions that heal, lift up the forgotten, and make a difference in the lives of others. Thanks for watching.
Another powerful one, you guys. Okay. Last one till 5. All right, okay, we'll see how this one is.
Try Hill Science.
That's literally embarrassing.
No, I've told you multiple times now I didn't see that.
It's super embarrassing. Like, you're not pee on the call you got called to. It's really embarrassing.
All right, so today's video is starting off with a woman at Wendy's arguing over nuggets.
and it somehow ends with a DUI, multiple charges, and a full-blown meltdown in handcuffs. We've got yelling, we've got contradictions, we have insults, and at one point she literally just says, "Take me to jail." Oh, honey, be careful what you wish for.
Hello?
Ashley, what's going on?
What's up? I'm trying to get my fucking baby bag. He fucking tweaking, he's sucking dick. Now what about my baby bag? No, he doing that. He is doing that. Genuinely. Look, he's sucking the shit.
You're in here causing a scene.
Look, okay, I'm causing a bitch. He took my drink. I paid for that.
Oh my God, what did these cops just walk into? Like literally from the second the body cam is on and they walk into the scene, what is happening? She just wants her biggie bag. She just wants her biggie bag.
I paid for that.
No, you said
I have to go. What's up? Where's my bag I paid for? I paid for a nugget. A sandwich.
Did she pay for anything?
No. I did. No, bro, where's my shit? It's in that fucking car.
Okay, go get the receipt.
Okay, cool. Can I wait?
If she comes back with the receipt,
Can I
I'll give her
walk
whatever's on
in
the
the receipt? Can I walk in the receipt?
Drive-through or what? Yeah.
No, I can't put the drive-through in our park and I can't decide. So can I get the receipt and can I get my food my first paper?
Let's go walk outside.
Okay, cool.
Let's walk outside.
Okay. I'm not doing too much. I'm not trying to do too much and figure you out. Like, let me know. The car's done.
Who's in the car with you?
Nobody.
What are we doing here?
Stop right here for you. That's what you said. That's
Okay,
what
but I'm saying what?
Why are we stopping right here?
Did you go? You went through the drive-through. You got a
You
receipt.
said stop right here.
I'm asking you a question.
That's why we're stopping right here.
Okay.
You said stop right here.
Whose call is this?
Whose car is this?
You already know.
Whose car is it? No, I'm
So-
not moving.
So
Whose car is it?
who else is in the car with you?
Nobody's in a fucking car. Nobody's in a fucking car.
So you drove here to get Wendy's.
Nobody's driving to the drive-thru alone.
You drove through the drive-thru alone.
Nobody said that. Nobody fucking said that. The fucking Wendy's called the police on y'all. Wendy said this bitch is tweaking in the drive-thru, right?
How's your
That's
car
what they
get?
said, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, but how'd your car get? You drove here. Or you by
They're
yourself?
alone. They're
You're
alone.
alone?
I didn't fucking move.
I'm saying, how'd you get over here? Is anybody
Who?
else with you? You. How did you get to?
No, I didn't get over here with nobody.
You came here yourself.
No. I
You don't just appear here, so.
Yeah, I just fucking appeared here.
Okay.
That's what happened, man. That's what they said. That's what happened.
Okay, well, you already stated to us that you went through the drive-thru, ordered food, and they didn't give it to you, and you had a receipt in your car for what you ordered when you went through the drive-thru.
Did they tweet?
Is that true? You ordered food through the drive-thru and they didn't give you your food?
Did they tweet? Did they not give my shit?
I'm asking you. I wasn't here.
Did they though?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you though.
I wasn't here, ma'am.
I'm just saying they got my receipt. They back up in there because they didn't give me my
You
shit.
said you
right?
had your receipt.
I'm saying though, they just grabbed the receipt, right? They just went up in there, right?
No.
Right. They just grabbed my shit from my car, right?
Nobody was at your car.
No, nobody was on my car. Are you fucking retarded? 3 motherfuckers was just at my car. Are you dumb as fuck? Are you fucking retarded? 3 motherfuckers was just in my car. Are you slow?
3 Wendy's
do you not
workers
know
were
what's
at your
going
car.
on? Do you not register what the fuck is going on?
No, I know what's going on.
3 motherfucking bitches was just at my car. Do you not get that? Like, did you not
No, maybe I don't understand. So explain to me. Tell me. Tell me from the start what happened.
Officers at my car.
Okay, you're not gonna sit here and yell at me.
You didn't.
You're not gonna sit here and
You
yell at me.
didn't. Okay, I'll sit. But bitch, what the fuck is you talking about?
Tell me what happened from the
start. On the ground.
You don't have to sit down.
I'm
Just tell me.
I'm just asking. Like, you didn't see
I'm asking
the
you.
3 motherfuckers at my car?
No.
You did not see that.
I did not.
Oh, that just happened, though. So, like, what are you hired to do? Watch what the fuck happened?
I didn't see
You
3 people at your
you
car.
Didn't. You didn't.
No.
No.
So explain to me from the beginning, before we got here.
No, before shit. Like, after you showed the fuck up, motherfucker, 3 motherfuckers went up to that car. You didn't peep that? You didn't see that? You're fucking slow. Like,
Kay, what do you think? Is she drunk or is she mentally ill?
that's just like, that's really embarrassing. Like, genuinely. Like, because, like, I peeped that. Like, it's.
With Shipped, it's never just a delivery order. It's shopped same day in the same way you would.
I love how much I can bundle and save on insurance at Liberty Bibbity.
And I love that you love how much you can bundle and save.
I love it. You love it.
I love that you love.
Okay, so apparently we are not peeping this. What the is she talking about? She's like talking in circles. So did she desperately need her receipt? Did they hand her her food? Did she not pay? Then 3 employees came to her car. Did they take the food? She went in. Did she get the food or not? That's just what I want to know. Did she get her food or not? She's talking in circles. The police officers are just trying to find out what the flip is going on. I am having a hard time following this. I'm just being real. She is clearly intoxicated. She's talking in circles. Apparently she did not get her biggie bag because she was inside asking about the biggie bag when the police officers showed up. So did 3 employees come to her car and take the biggie bag out of her car? Is that what she's saying happened? I thought she just wanted a receipt. I am so confused right now.
Motherfuckers pushing through the drive-thru. Like, you didn't see 3 motherfuckers walk up to my car. That's literally embarrassing.
No, I've told you multiple times now I didn't see that.
It's super embarrassing. Like, you're not on P? You're not on P? On the call you got called to? It's really embarrassing. Like,
So
you didn't
what
see
happened?
Man, I don't know about you, but I feel really embarrassed that I'm not a peep. I wish I was a peep because then maybe I would understand what in the hell she's trying to say.
Into that car.
No, I did not, and I'm done talking about that.
I mean, you
Tell
keep
me.
talking about it, bitch. I didn't drive that car. So I don't give a
Already stated that you did.
No, I didn't.
You did though. You stated that you drove through the drive-through and you didn't get the right
I
food.
don't have a fucking license. I haven't been driving for 2 weeks.
Well,
Yeah, bitch. You could keep laughing, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who's behind me. Some fucking goofy fat ass.
Who's laughing behind me? Okay, so she got the wrong food at the drive-thru. That's why she went inside. Okay, so she did get her food at the drive-thru, but who were the 3 goofy ass? Who were the 3 goofy ass motherfuckers that came to her car? That's where I'm lost. She keeps telling the police officer, "You didn't see those 3 goofy motherfuckers." Oh my God. First of all, I just want to say, if she is intoxicating and she was driving, oh my God, how scary is that? But I am laughing at the fact that she is just talking in circles and it's all over a biggie bag. Apparently her biggie bag was missing some nuggets or something. This is not worth all of this hassle. Like, come on now.
Good evening. How's it going, guys?
one of those nights, you know.
It's one of those nights. She drunk or high?
She drove to that parking lot. I thought she was gonna take out our truck.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was she driving at?
Well, she was right here, and then she's going crazy, honking her horn crazy.
Laying on it.
Just laying on it, stop, then do it again, and then she's looking around, then did again, and then took off, going around the parking lot, spun back around, came back up here.
You guys be willing to sign?
Sure.
Saying that you witnessed her driving?
Yeah, she was driving.
I was getting ready to call when she drove to the parking lot. She was gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna hit my truck.
I DUI'd her 2 months ago.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh, he just say he gave her a DUI 2 months ago? Is that what he said?
I DUI'd her 2 months ago.
Did you? Yeah.
That is what he said. He said, I DUI'd her 2 months ago. Oh, she's in some deep shit.
What did she do when she came through the drive-thru?
The first time she like we could tell she was drunk, but like honestly, it wasn't really my business to call her. So
right.
We just took her order.
Okay, hold on. Right there. I could tell she was drunk, but it wasn't my business to call her nothing. No. How would you feel? Tell me in the comments how you would feel. I know how I would feel. How would you feel if you saw somebody clearly drunk and then you heard a story about somebody being hit and killed by that person? I don't even want to describe what I would feel, right? But clearly if you see somebody in a vehicle that is recognizable, let's say a red car, you see somebody in a red car driving and you're like, oh man, I bet they're drunk. But you're just like, oh, it's not my business. I'm not going to call. And then you see in the news that a mother, father, and child were hit and killed by a drunk driver in a red car. How would you feel? I don't give a shit if you don't think it's your business or not. If you see something, say something. That's what they have been trying to like ingrain in our head for years. If you see something, say something. It doesn't matter if you think it's your business or not. Lives could depend on it.
And then she said she needed to find her money, so she took about 5 minutes to find her money. She couldn't find them. Okay. So I asked her to pull up here so we can take the rest of the cars behind her. I heard her just like blaring on the horn, so I figured she wanted me to come out here. So I came out here and she just started screaming. I couldn't understand what she was saying because like her words was all slurred. So I just went back in the building. And then she came back around and she drove over the curb right there. And I saw her coming around.
Are these her marks right here? Or are these different?
Probably, yeah. Because one tire was on top of his curb and the other one was like, that probably is her tire.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. So what are we doing? Like, hey, he said, what are we doing?
Fields?
He doesn't know. Fields. You didn't pull me over. I'm not doing a feel for you. I'm not doing a feel for you.
So you're not going to comply with field sobriety test?
Yeah. No, take me to jail. I'm not conforming to anything you're talking about. Take me to fucking jail. Are you fucking retarded?
I'm not going to use that word, but are you that thing that I will not repeat? You literally just told the cops to take you to jail. You're clearly intoxicated. There are eyewitnesses saying that they saw you behind the wheel of a car while intoxicated, and you were just previously arrested for a DUI 2 months ago. Really gonna tell the cops to take you to jail? Is that what you really want to happen right now? You're fucking dumb.
She's not doing fields.
Yeah.
You're not free to leave. You are detained right now.
I'm
95. You're under arrest for DUI.
Put your hands around your mouth. Get on the ground. Get out the ground. You gotta stop drinking, Ashley.
No.
You're an alcoholic.
No, you're gonna pick me up.
You're under arrest for aggravated DUI and resisting.
You're gonna pick me up.
We will.
No,
Now, listen to me. You're gonna stand up on your own. We're gonna help you. Do you understand?
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Get up.
My glasses? Can you take my glasses on?
Let's go.
Put them on my face. Okay, they're brown.
Let's go.
You get my glasses? Oh shit, they broke.
When you're the swim, soccer, dance mom, Meyer Pickup has you covered.
I better shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you should do that.
Piece of shit.
Mhm.
Fat bitch.
All right, grab my hand. No.
You shut
I'll
the
talk
fuck
whenever
up,
I feel
fat
like it.
bitch.
How's that sound?
How about you shut the fuck
No.
up, fat ass, dumb ass?
You need to sit in jail for a while. You're a danger to the community. Stop moving around. Keep right there.
Someone like her is a danger. Yeah, like we giggle, we laugh because she's saying a bunch of stupid shit and she's making an ass out of herself. We laugh at her, but this officer is 100% correct. She is a danger to society. She has been arrested for a DUI and she's still out driving while intoxicated. Not only is she out driving while intoxicated, she's like running basic freaking errands while drunk. It's not like she's driving home occasionally buzzed after having some drinks out with friends and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and there's only a few cars on the road. No, we're talking about she's going through a drive-through at freaking dinner time where people are taking their kids into Wendy's to get a biggie bag, okay? Like she's endangering people's lives. She needs to have some serious consequences because clearly she don't give a shit.
We can search the other side? In a minute.
Can you do that?
Relax.
Can you do that? I'm not fucking resisting, idiot.
You're backing up.
Can you fucking pick my glasses up?
We got your glasses. Are we issued on me and search?
You said I know.
Do we need to the other side or no?
Yeah, can you
Okay.
do that? Yeah,
All right, let's
we're
go.
going to switch the other side.
Walk.
Can you pick them?
Already got your glasses
Walk.
in my hand.
They're not. They're broke. Idiot bitch. Yeah, open the door. Can I have my glasses?
Why need your glasses? They're broke anyway. What exactly do you need to see in the back of a police car?
They're broken.
Oh, they're broken. Who broke them?
On your face in just a second.
Who broke them?
They got broken because you were resisting.
Oh, they broken by Officer Diaz. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Step on out.
Step out. Next weekend. Keep put them on my face.
Yeah, she's cracking up on this one, gang.
I'm gonna point and I'm gonna laugh laugh because she's an asshole that was driving drunk and she's getting some consequences. I am here for it, and I will point and I will laugh at every little bit I can about her. And I'm just glad she didn't hurt somebody.
Let me get the door closed.
Can you put them on? Thank you.
All right, let's walk this way.
Sweetie.
What's up?
Did you guys come to over when I was driving?
No, we did not.
So, what do you mean my charge is a DUI?
Exactly that. Aggravated DUI.
How do I get a DUI when you guys did not pull me over when I was driving?
Because you were driving your vehicle under the influence.
In what context?
All right. Subsequent to an arrest for driving while under the influence of alcohol, other drugs, or intoxicating compounds, or any combination thereof, DUI, or Section 11401, leaving the scene of a fatal or personal injury crash, you are hereby notified that, as provided in Section 11500 of the Illinois Vehicle Code, you are a first offender unless within the last 5 years of this arrest for DUI or leaving the scene you have had a previous conviction or court-assigned supervision for DUI or a similar provision of a local ordinance, or a conviction in any other state for DUI or a similar offense where the cause of action is the same or substantially similar to the Illinois Vehicle Code, for the presence of cannabis as listed in the Cannabis Control Act with a delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol concentration of either 5 nanograms or more of whole blood or 10 nanograms or more of other bodily substance,
Yeah, we all
or any
out of my fucking glasses.
or any amount of a drug, substance, or
He's sitting here reading all this off so monotone because you could tell he's just like, she's not listening anyway. I'm going to read this. A compound resulting in unlawful use. And she's sitting over there going, you broke my glasses. And then she says, how can I get arrested for a DUI when you didn't even pull me over? Golly, she is drunk. She is drunk. She didn't even know how they got her in there. She's like, did you guys pull me over? I don't know. Where the f- was I? I don't know.
compound resulting from the unlawful use or consumption of controlled substance listed in the Illinois Controlled Substance Act. Or if you are not a first offender, your driving privileges will be suspended for a minimum of 3 years. Or if you were involved in a motor vehicle crash that caused personal injury or death to another, your driving privileges will be revoked for a minimum of 12 months. Personal injury means type A injury that requires immediate professional attention in a doctor's office or medical facility, including severely bleeding wounds, distorted extremities, and injuries that require the entire injured party.
She is so wasted. She is so wasted. So I have been known to partake in some vodka and have some fun at night. If I was this drunk, I would never, ever think to get behind a wheel. I would be Ubering everywhere. What makes someone in this kind of condition think that they're okay to drive? That just blows my mind. I mean, yes, there's this level of personal responsibility and like knowing what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, whatever. But my God, when you are this far gone, what possesses you to think you're okay to drive? Like, that's mind blowing to me. She is so wasted.
No, seriously.
To be carried from the scene.
Like, I had like a 4-year suspension. Like, are you serious?
If you submit to a chemical test disclosing an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more, a delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol concentration of either 5 nanograms or more of blood or 10 nanograms or more of other bodily substance, any amount of controlled substance as listed in the Illinois Controlled Substance Act, an intoxicating compound as listed in the Use of Intoxicating Compounds Act, or methamphetamine as listed in the Methamphetamine Control and Community Protection Act. And if you are a first offender, your driving privileges will be suspended for a minimum of 6 months. Or if you are not a first offender, your driving privileges will be suspended for a minimum of 1 year. You are further warned that if you are a commercial driver's license CDL holder, your CDL privileges will be disqualified for the following time period if you refuse to submit to or fail to complete all chemical tests requested, or submit to a chemical test disclosing an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more, any amount of a drug, substance, or intoxicating compound resulting from the unlawful use or consumption of cannabis as listed in the Cannabis Control Act, a controlled substance as listed in the Illinois Controlled Substances Act, an intoxicating compound as listed in the Use of Intoxicating Compound Act, or methamphetamine as listed in the Methamphetamine Control and Community Protection Act. If you have not had a prior 12-month disqualification of your CDL privileges will be disqualified for 12 months. If you have had prior 12-month disqualification of your CDL privileges will be disqualified for life.
Spend that shit. I don't give a shit, bitch. Yeah.
It sure sounds like you give a shit, bitch. You've been talking over him this whole time. That shows you care. Been saying 12 months. 12 months. It sure sounds like she cares to me.
Yeah.
Are you going to provide breast?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that fucking thing.
Okay.
Take me to fucking jail. Yeah, take me to fucking jail.
I don't know.
No,
I've
take me
never
to fucking jail.
I've never done it.
Period. Skip every fucking thing
Not that I know of.
that you have on protocol.
You mean just
and take me to fucking jail. Period. It doesn't fucking
I've never
matter.
been shown any of that.
All that. Skip everything that's fucking mandatory. And take me to fucking jail.
We have to get this process going first.
Damn, bro, he just walked away and told me I was in there on phone with my family. He didn't lie to me.
No, he just has to take care of something first, and then he'll come back.
Lying, bro. He just fucking lying.
It's not lying to you.
No, he's fucking
It's just not. We just can't instantly give you access to the
We
phone.
not that fucking busy, bro. And I've been through this shit. Like, you just tap in, you just dial the number. Nobody calling fucking Bradley Police Department. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, genuinely. Sir.
What's up?
You, I want to fucking play with my glasses. Stop want to play with nobody.
Nobody's playing with anything.
No, he is. Because God fucking play with because I was brought into the room before. So why the fuck is he playing with my glasses, bitch? I'm not gonna pay $100 for no fucking prescription glasses. But I'm not fucking play with them.
Who was playing with your glasses? They were on your face.
They were on my bitch. No, these were on my face. Right? Okay, cool. There's another set of glasses and evidence that there was study toying with. Like, I'm gonna try to have a second set of glasses play with and fuck with. Like, the motherfuckers on the screen is getting fucked with. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Nobody playing with them. They are playing with them. Like, what the fuck? You're lying.
I don't know what glasses you're talking about. The only glasses I know about are the ones on your face.
Okay, so there's a pair of glasses on the fucking screen on the fucking floor right there, right? Do you not see the phone? No,
I see your phone.
Am I retarded? Am I hallucinating?
I see your phone.
Right.
I don't see any glasses.
Clearly, you are hallucinating. She says, am I hallucinating? I would say so, because I don't see any glasses either there, princess.
Make it cold.
With AC Pro, anyone can recharge their car's AC. Like a pro. Be a pro with AC Pro.
I'm actually fucking back up, not doing too much, bro. I just want to fucking go. I just want to go to jail.
We're going to jail.
What?
How about this? How about we go to jail in like 1 minute? That cool with you? I'll talk
No,
to
we're
you.
not. It's not gonna take fucking 1 minute because he's filling out fucking paperwork.
I'll try to ask her
Idiot.
about that.
No.
Okay, now my question is, did she get to eat her biggie bag? I mean, maybe if she ate her biggie bag, she'd sober up a little bit because, oh boy, she is wasted. This chick is white girl wasted, okay? Like, no, I wouldn't say she's white girl wasted. I would say she's more like trailer park trashed. That's what she is. This chick is trailer park trashed.
No, bitch. He's not fucking taking 1 fucking minute. Idiot. New ass, goofy ass bitch. He's taking fucking 1 minute.
All right, see?
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna fucking uncuff this?
Yeah, we're gonna go right now.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to fucking Joliet. Like, wherever, bitch. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'm not doing that shit. Talking about a fucking judge take the front of my fucking piss and urine, bitch. I'm not doing that. Bitch, take me to jail. Got a ball?
Can you put my glasses up? Like, look at my face.
Get inside. Just get inside first. We're walking inside. You get it. Ashley,
Get inside.
we're right here.
Bro, bitch, it's right there.
Exactly. It's right here.
Right. What's up?
Have a seat right here.
Hey, look at him. Okay, have a
Have a
seat
seat.
or walk up. Like, you don't even know
There you
what
go.
the fuck you're talking about. You push up? Stop! You just fucking yelled at me to come inside. They're gonna come inside and I'm gonna film them all night. Bitch, you don't have to take your taxes, bitch.
The suspect was charged with DUI, obstructing justice, disorderly conduct, and driving with a suspended license.
So what started out was they took my food, they didn't give me my nuggies, turned into a DUI, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and a suspended license.
So what happens with that? You go, guys, how long will she be in there? Is she, I thought she was drunk there. And to add to that, a suspended license? Driving with a suspended license. Oh my God. That one was a wild one. Okay, I'll take an hour or so break and we'll have everything set up for 5 o'clock. Everything, so a lot of good stuff on the first show already. Thanks, Kay, Tim, and Carol. My angle must have been working. So have a good hour break here, and we'll see you back in shortly. God bless all. Never forget to like. Stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith. Never give up. Signing off, Chico and Dude. Show number 1, Monday the 13th, April. See you soon.